This is David Allen Falls from Full Sail University, giving my interview, first interview with Miss LaShawn here, and we're gonna speak briefly on a few questions that I have arranged for my client, Miss LaShawn. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, David. How are you?
I'm awesome. Life is good. And everybody's happy around us and stuff. Okay, so my first question would be. Back on Track is the name of the interview that I want to craft for this. So what I'm saying is, can you give us an example of what getting back on track means to you?
Well, I have to start with the humble beginnings of being an 8-year-old to 10, competing in the Jesse Owens track meets, Arco Jesse Owens. It allowed me to travel to California, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and various cities competing nationally. And I was a national record holder in high school for the women's 200 at 22.8. Good day, David. We've got masters, high school, university.
Okay. View with Miss LaShawn here, and we're gonna speak briefly on a few questions that I have arranged for my client, Miss LaShawn. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, David. How are you?
I'm awesome. Life is good. And everybody's happy around us and stuff. Okay, so my first question would be. Back on Track is the name of the interview that I want to craft for this. So what I'm saying is, can you give us an example of what getting back on track means to you?
Well, I have to start with the humble beginnings of being an 8-year-old to 10, competing in the Jesse Owens track meets, Arco Jesse Owens. It allowed me to travel to California, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and various cities competing nationally. And I was a national record holder in high school for the women's 200 at 22.8.
Hey, I'm David Allen Falls, and I'm back again for my first interview ever for Full Sail University with Miss LaShawn here.
Hi, David.
Hey, how are you? Back again for another take. So, I would like to say I have arranged these questions here for my client, Miss LaShawn, and the questions, they're on some, life questions and stuff like that. So she's been willing to participate, and I thank God for that. And I'm just happy to, that it's all coming together. Let's start the interview now. Okay, so my first question would be, humble beginnings. What does that mean to you? Where are you coming from with that?
Well, David, as an 8 to 10-year-old, I was able to compete in the Arco Jesse Owens track meets, which allowed me to travel to Houston, Texas, California, Los Angeles, and Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And that allowed me to compete nationally for the girls 200 meter. And I set a national record in high school as one of Texas All-Americans, and that was a 22.8 for the girls 200 meter, allowing me to later on go to attend UCLA. And I was roommates with Jackie Joyner Kersey and other roommates such as Florence Griffith Joyner, who were good friends, and we all traveled to Helsinki, Finland for the World Games, Caracas, Venezuela for Pan Am Games, and I tried out for the 1984 Olympic teams and missed that team by one spot. Finished 10th.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add on there about that? Competing in the beginnings?
I continued to compete. I actually came out of retirement. So I like to say I'm back on track again at 52. Now I'm 62, competing with the Masters division. We're all over 30. And LaShawn came out of retirement to win the 100, 200, and the quarter to be the best in the nation.
Wow, that is impressive.
2014. In Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at the Masters National Championships.
Okay. All right. Hey, I'm David Allen. This is take 3, the final part of my first interview here with Miss LaShawn. And my question and last question that I have is, what events or occurrences has shaped what you are presently doing right now as we record or speak in this interview?
Well, thank you for asking, David. Currently, I am helping Miss Eloise Arams with clients in her home, and I'm also assisting with foster doggies, 2 Chihuahuas. And I like to think that when I first met Miss Arams, we were both in Parks and Recreation, and we worked for City of Dallas. So we were dealing with a lot of people and dealing with youth, and kind of transitioned to start taking care of seniors and special needs. So
Okay.
Miss Arams needed a break, and I began to assist her with weekend services of Ubering over to her sister's to sit with her from Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays because she was on a feeding tube and she was wheelchair bound. So we did makeovers and exercise in the wheelchair and lots of other fun things.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Can I
So,
add more?
if you want,
Well, from there, I'd like to think that Miss Eloise invited me to take a cruise with her for her birthday with 3 generations, along with her daughter and their children, and some of her best friends. We actually went to Cozumel, Mexico. In order to fund my trip, I was babysitting her goddaughter, Miss Kamara, Miss KK's daughter, and I was also walking dogs, and I lost my poodle to seizures. I was walking dogs, but in the meantime, I made it worth my while by collecting cans, and those cans turned into cash, and the cash paid for the cruise.
okay, that's a blessing there and everything. Well, that kind of wraps up this interview here, and I'm glad to hear from you. You know, you've been a friend of mine from afar, or like a stepsister to me, and
I'm just glad I could be of service and do this interview with you and help humanity and help some animals along the way.
okay, that's nice. So that about wraps up this interview. I'm David Allen Falls from Full Sail University. This is my client, Miss LaShawn.
Thank you so much, David.
You're welcome, and we're out. Hey, what's going on? It's David from Full Sail University, a student. And I'm just crafting in this interview right here, giving it, a brief, you know, intermission, and just giving you filled up to date. Hope you enjoying the video. Hope you enjoying the interview with my client. And like I say, this is my first interview, so I hope y'all enjoying it. Hey, I'm David Allen, and thanks for watching my interview with Miss LaShawnette Johnson. Thank you for all the viewers that I might potentially get and gain, and salute.